What's going on, folks? Dave Mate, CircleTheDrink.com, YerbaMateLand.com. You guys already know. Back for a quick review, a live review on Unión Yerba Mate from northern Argentina, from the Corrientes Providence in Argentina, which is right before Misiones. Unión. This is coming out of Las Marias. Las Marias is the largest yerba mate producer in the world. They control about, some people have said, about 85% of the entire global market. They produce brands such as Taragüí, Las Marias, La Merced, and of course Unión, among several other popular brands. This company is a monster. They're huge. They've been around for a while. They produce high quality yerba mate. You've heard me speak about a couple of their brands already. Taragüí, which is the most popular brand in Argentina. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Taragüí. I think it's okay, but for me, it's definitely not on the top shelf. I definitely prefer Unión over Taragüí. So let's talk about Unión today. Let me show you guys a couple slides I have prepared. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So this is Las Marias. This is their estate here. Just a couple pictures to show you guys. Beautiful yerba mate plants. Beautiful scenery. These guys are huge. Been around for a while. If you're in Argentina, definitely check them out. You could go on a tour, I believe, of their farms. I've never done it, but it sounds good to me. Let me jump over to another screen. Here we go. All right, so here we go. We have Unión. Let me make sure this is all right and proper. I think you guys can see this. Yes, Unión. Suave. Suave means suave. It just means smooth, suave, light. This is a nice mate. This was the first mate that someone ever gave me as a present in Argentina. I was just overwhelmed with joy. Somebody gave me a pound of this. This was back in, I don't know, 2009, 2010, spring 2010, actually. And I kind of fell in love with this mate. This mate, along with Cruz, were the first two mates that I really got deeply into. Cruz is Cruz de Malta. Very nice mates. I haven't had Unión in quite some time. I recently just got reacquainted with it. Just spent the week pretty much exclusively drinking it in preparation for this discussion today. So let's talk about the nose, the bouquet. How does this mate smell? The reason why I discussed the bouquet, the nose of these brands, because you can learn a lot about how mate tastes simply by how it smells. The olfactory nerves on the top of your nose detect different signatures. These signatures, these compounds, often kind of narrate or tell the story of how the mate is going to taste. As you know, smell and taste are integral parts of really capturing the essence of anything that you're consuming, anything that you're drinking. So I do spend a lot of time just smelling yerba mate, really just sticking my head down in the bag, kind of like somebody would do with wine or regular tea, brandy, what have you. Spending time trying to really understand how these things smell, what signatures can I pick up. So with Unión, I'm definitely getting heavy wood, very woody. I'm picking up on that signature hay. As we'll discuss in a moment, this mate has a lot of palos. The palos are the white twigs. These white twigs usually denote a sweeter yerba mate. So I am picking up on sweet notes. There's also this mild tobacco, Virginia tobacco essence. If you guys are familiar with tobacco, Virginia tobacco is a little bit lighter in body. It kind of has like this oaty essence to it, slightly smoked almost. Definitely oaty components in this nose, in this bouquet. Picking up on Cheerios, Kix cereal, sawdust, oatmeal with syrup. It's kind of soft, floral. Picking up on a little bit of raw honey, faintly. And I'm definitely picking up on Bisquick's. Bisquick is the pancake batter that we're all used to here in the United States. Overall, this mate has a very pleasant bouquet. There's a lot of nice layering effects going on, from woody to floral notes to sweet notes that could all be detected. They're all there. Nice layering going on with the nose. So let's talk about, how does this yerba mate taste? Okay, I kind of grouped the taste and the character and the body and the viscosity and the mouthfeel kind of all into one category at this point. I'm going to say that this mate has a medium body. Now, if you use your water temperature a little bit hot, which I like to do with this mate, I like a water temperature of about 80, 82. Which quite frankly is kind of hot for some people. Some people don't deal with hot water with yerba mate. For me, with particular brands, I do go up to 82 degrees Celsius, which is about, I don't know, what, 178, 180 Fahrenheit, something like that. It's about 180 Fahrenheit. I try not to go over that, but with this mate, I like to bring it to that line. On the taste, I'm picking up a little bit of a light brine, sort of like a salty water, a little light brine, floral astringency. On the back end of this mate, which I really like, and I think this is the hallmark characteristic of this mate, is that you're going to get this citrusy aftertaste. I really like that. It has this kind of limey, orangey, lemon aspect to it. This mate is definitely tart. It has some sour components to it. I would say that this mate is definitely astringent. You're definitely going to pick up on that little zap, that little bite. The movement of this mate is nice and vibrant. It's kind of bouncy. It has good buoyancy. It kind of has a little bit of verve and panache to it, a little bit of pop. Has this kind of youthful attitude, kind of youthful aspect to it. Almost like a little kid running around. You know, it's nice. It just jumps up and jumps around. Nice little movement, sort of like what you get with Paraguayan mates. There's definitely some parallels with this mate and Paraguayan mates. For instance, La Rubia is a mate that is kind of wild. It's all over the place. Usually with Argentine mates, they're not so wild. They're kind of just robust and strong and have that grassy herbaceous aspect. With Unión, you're definitely going to pick up on hybrid taste profiles between the two categories of mate, between Argentina and Paraguay, which makes this mate, in my opinion, pretty fun. It's a fun mate to drink. It's a solid medium body, maybe leading up towards on the lower side of a full body, so in between a solid medium and light full body. The structure of this mate is pretty sturdy, at least in the initial 15 cycles or so. Cycles every time you add hot water to the gourd and you complete it. That's one cycle. Within the first 15, 16, 17 cycles, the structure is very solid. It's a flexible structure, I would say. You're picking up on grass, hay, soil, and then that's kind of intermingling very intelligently, in my opinion, with tart notes, sour notes, citrus notes combining. It's pretty harmonious, I would say. Now, the thing that I don't like about this mate, which I think kind of really blemishes this brand from making it an all-around solid mate, is that the cycle is nice for the first 15, 20, cycles, turns you're drinking the mate. But then what I don't like is that it abruptly collapses, just straight collapses into this sort of awkward, flat, kind of watery, in my opinion, it's like a weird Lovato taste. Now, you've heard me say in my other videos that I actually do appreciate mates in the Lovato state. The Lovato in Spanish means washed, tasteless. Now, just to juxtapose this mate with, say, erva mate from southern Brazil, let's say Jamangu, those mates, in my opinion, are very graceful when it comes to this transitioning from, you know, malty, creamy, kind of solid, light body to highly Lovato, watery mate. The transition is very graceful. It's elegant, I would say. The transition from this mate, from a solid, medium-bodied to the Lovato state, is very abrupt. It just collapses. The entire situation just falls apart. And this mate starts to exhibit these awkward, citrusy aspects, which I don't know. I just don't like that so much. I feel like something went wrong in that transition period. Now, that could be totally disregarded if you just change your philosophy of, okay, well, I'm just not going to drink it when it becomes Lovato, which is really the mode of operation in Argentina and most South American countries that drink yerba mate, which is a stark contrast to North Americans, Europeans, where those sort of Materos continue to drink the mate even in the Lovato state. Well, did I have something to do with that? Maybe, because, you know, over the years I've been telling people, hey, I love the Lovato state, drink it, appreciate it, because it's kind of like, you know, when you're drinking white tea or very light green tea that starts off kind of strong, and then you rebrew it, and then it tastes very nice. Something else goes on, and then you rebrew it, and then it's still very nice. I believe the same thing could happen with mates. With this particular mate, I personally don't like the transition. I like this mate strong. I like it within the first 15, 20 cycles. Then I'm forced to do a hemisphere switch or flood the entire gourd, which means indiscriminately pouring hot water over the entire circumference, the entire top layer of the actual mate in the gourd. This mate is good for doing that. If you're going to do a flooding of the mate, this mate is a good situation for that. You may not even want to waste your time with a hemisphere switch with this mate, only because the Lovato state is kind of awkward, in my opinion. Let me know what you guys think about the Lovato state of this mate. So the cycle overall, I'm going to say it has a short cycle. But keep in mind, it's a nice, solid, strong yerba mate, like I said, for the first 15, 20 cycles. It almost makes you think that the mate is going to last longer, but then it just, boom, it's done. I'm not surprised, because when I look at the saponins of this mate, I'm beginning to study the saponins of the mates. The saponins are the exhibition, or I'm talking about visually speaking here. When you see these bubbles, these gaseous bubbles popping up from the top of the gourd, those are indicators of saponins. Saponins are very powerful compounds that are healthy for us, but they also, in my opinion, and I still have to do a lot of research on this, and all my research right now is anecdotal and personal, because no other research exists, unfortunately. I believe that you could tell the strength of the mate and even the taste to a large degree based upon the saponin structure. How do the saponins look? How do the saponins feel? For instance, when you're drinking something like erva mate, like Jimangu or Tequapi, something like that, look at the saponins. Pay close attention to them. You're going to see very tight clustering structures of the saponins, which indicates usually you're going to get a rich, malty, creamy taste. But if you start to see loose, kind of large saponin bubbles that are kind of widely dispersed, you're going to get a flatter situation in taste. Now, of course, like I said, I just want to reiterate, that's just all anecdotal from my own personal experience. So you're going to have to do your own research on that to see if it makes sense. So short cycle, medium body, very nice taste, you know, nice citrusy situation, robust mate, grassy. I would say that it's more astringent than bitter, which is nice. It's a nice little shift from just a bitter mate. So who would I recommend this mate to? I would recommend this mate to a new yerba mate drinker who doesn't necessarily want to deal with bitterness, but has a kind of partial liking to things that are kind of tart, sour, fruity, someone that likes things that are vibrant. Now, this mate would be good for even making cold yerba mate because, like I said, it has these citrus tones to it, these kind of light little zaps and zings to it, good movement. And overall, I would say it's well-balanced yerba mate. So the weak cycle and the kind of awkward Lovato state notwithstanding, this is a very good yerba. Okay, I think this is I don't want to say great. I almost want to say great, but because of its shortcomings, I can't say great. It's not great, but this is a very good yerba mate. I'm not surprised that the Argentinians love this brand of yerba mate. I love it too. It's fun to drink, tastes pretty good, but it's not the sort of mate, to be honest, I get kind of bored of it. It's the mate that doesn't really hold my attention more than a week or two. Then I have to just let it go for a while. Then I come back to it, then it's fun again. But it's not solid enough for me to say, okay, I'm just going to drink this mate every day. It just has too many shortcomings for that. So overall, Unión, this is a classical yerba mate. Let's talk about the cut. We've been looking at it all this time. Very nice composition here. It kind of looks how it tastes, really, to tell you the truth. You have these palos here, which offer that sweetness to it. It has a very nice kind of almost limey lemon hue to it. And interestingly enough, it does taste limey and it does taste kind of citrusy. Interestingly enough, this mate has relatively higher amounts of pulverized stems and pulverized leaves, which gives it a nice robust body. This is almost similar to Mission Yerba Mate on Circle to Drink. Nice yerba mate, nice cut. This is your classical Argentine yerba mate cut. The only difference really with this mate is that it has slightly more palos, the white stems, and it has slightly more polvo, the powder. So what else can I say about this yerba mate, guys? It's solid for the most part. It's fun, citrusy. You can't really go wrong with this mate. Like I said, it has some shortcomings that kind of disqualified, in my opinion, from being a great yerba mate. But it's a fun yerba mate to drink. It's a nice yerba mate to have in your cabinet. Add to your library of brands. And who knows, maybe we'll carry this mate one day. We're not carrying it right now, but it's definitely a possibility. All right, guys, this is Dave Mate from yerbamateland.com, circleofdrink.com. Find us on Facebook, find us on YouTube, find us on Instagram. We're all over the place. Join the community, guys. Remember, this is a community as well. Just Materos, the yerba mate drinker, who loves yerba mate and kind of embraces yerba mate as a lifestyle, not just a single herb, not just a single plant, not just Ilex paraguayensis, a beautiful holly plant from the Southern Cone region of South America, but as a plant that kind of brings people together, that kind of enforces and promotes community, unity, equality, beyond race, beyond socioeconomic status, beyond any limitation, social construction that we've created. Beautiful plant. Get yourself some of it, start drinking it, and only you will be able to tell how powerful this plant is. Don't take my word for it. Just start drinking it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Don't worry, I'm not that crazy. All right, guys. Dave Mate, Circle to Drink. Check it out. Hope you guys have a great afternoon wherever you are, or night, or morning. And salud. Peace, peace.